Oh my God, this gets worse. This gets worse and worse. So recently, Russell Brand said on a podcast that at the age of 30, he was sleeping with a 16-year-old.
In Europe and in the United Kingdom where I'm from, the age of consent is 16, and I did sleep with a 16-year-old when I was 30.
And many of us, thousands, hundreds of thousands of us were thinking, why the hell are you going to tell us on a podcast that at the age of 30, you were sleeping with a 16-year-old? The way he said it, the way he packaged it, it was as if it was only a one-time exception. Oh, I was 30 years old, I was a bit immature those days, and it was kind of like a one-off thing. It was just a one-off.
But when I was 30, I was a very different person.
Well, as I said, you're going to need to fasten your seatbelts for this one, because what we've stumbled across over the past 24 hours is extremely disturbing. The files tell us it wasn't just a one-off situation.
Because this 16-year-old that Brand mentions is likely referring to one of these alleged 6 women in the same case who actually came forward in 2023. One of these women that came forward said that she was in a relationship with Russell Brand for 3 months in 2006 when she was 16. But she also said some other things that, now reading after he's admitted it, is kind of disturbing. She described that obviously when he was working at the BBC as a radio host, Brand would have all of these cars being scheduled for him, like chauffeurs by the BBC. And she even said that on occasions, a BBC car would pick her up from school to go back to Russell Brand's home.
You're telling me, allegedly, according to what's being said in this report, the BBC was sending cars to collect this 16-year-old kid from school and then sending that kid without letting anyone know to Russell Brand's house. This is one of the 6 women that have come forward, ladies and gentlemen, according to what's just been said in this video, and they're alleging that they were in a relationship with Russell Brand for 3 months. I told you these files are disturbing. This is sickening. And this is probably the reason as to why he told us in that podcast that he slept with a 16-year-old when he was 30 years old. But he tries to brush it off as if it was just a once, as if it was a one and only time. Oh, it's because I was famous. If you actually think about what he was saying in the Piers and Morgan podcast, it kind of gives even more context, because he said when he was famous, he was taken advantage. You know, he was a smackhead, he was a crackhead, he's never had anything before. Then all of a sudden, he's got all of these people offering him things. But what's even more sick and sinister here, ladies and gentlemen, is that the organization he was working for were also culprits here. They're also culprits. They picked up a minor from school and drove that minor to one of their employees' homes.
From school. BBC scheduled car. Now, the 16-year-old, who is now obviously a grown woman, she claims that during her alleged relationship with Brand, he had, quote, coached her into lying to her parents and told her to save his number under a different name.
Oh man, this is not looking good, Brand. I'm calling him Brand. Why am I calling you Brand for, bro? This is not looking good for you, Russell, mate. I have to be totally honest. I never even knew all of this. Like, when I was reacting to the podcast, only 24 hours ago, I never knew all of this. When you watch the podcast and you understand how smart and intelligent this guy is, you feel like you've just been played. I wonder why there's a number of people out there who believe this whole turn into religion is just a facade. It's a cover-up for all of the evil shit he's allegedly done. That's what they're saying, you know. I'm saying, like.
Also alleged that Brand's management advised him to not be seen with her, as it was, quote, not a good idea given her age, and that it was suggested she pretended to be his goddaughter.
Oh my God, this gets worse. This gets worse and worse. You're telling me he's management. So not only do you have his employers, and I want to let you guys know that his management is a totally different team. His management worked for him, but he also had a contract at the time with the BBC. So we're talking about 3 different parties that are more or less involved in the exploitation of this minor. 3 different parties. I mean, this is what she's alleging, by the way. This is what she's alleging. Let me just put that out there. She's alleging that the brand's management advised him not to be seen with her, as it was not a good idea. Of course it's not a good idea. You're 30, she's 16. What are you doing? Like, that's what the management should have been questioning him, like, what are you doing, bro? I don't think I want to work with you anymore. Why do I keep seeing you with this 16-year-old? Or did they know about other 16-year-olds? Oh, they know about other minors that Russell maybe, allegedly, could have been seeing, dating. They're saying it's not a good idea given her age, and that it was suggested she pretend to be his goddaughter or niece so he can continue having sex with her. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Were people getting paid that much? Were people really getting paid that much? That is super weird. So this is basically saying that he had the intentions. He had the intentions to go out of his way to do this. He wanted to do this. This wasn't a one-off. This wasn't, oh, I'm at a party and she looked older than I thought and I was drunk and I ended up sleeping with her and I can't believe this has happened. No, no, no. This is going out of his way, knowing that she's still in school, sending cars to pick her up. And then they're all being manipulated. All of them. They're manipulating themselves and manipulating the young one to believe that it's all okay, because the law says so. People are gonna frown upon it, so let's not be seen together. You go in the house at 9 o'clock, I'll walk in at 9:05. Not doing anything illegal, they say. People would just disapprove. We just don't wanna risk being seen together, seen in public, because of who this brother is. A 30-year-old DJ at the time on the BBC.
Now, obviously, if those allegations are true, that really means a lot more people were complicit in something that's pretty damn bad.
Now, I think you should theme the party around legal sex.
Hello.
You all right, sweetheart?
Yeah.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, I'm going to have a 16th party, well, hopefully.
16th party, you've had 15 up till now. Do you have one every year?
No, I only had one last year.
Right, but you are 16 years of age.
Going to be in February, but I want ideas.
I suppose you're 16, you can't really drink booze yet, or any drugs, because that's illegal. 16, right, now you will be legally allowed to have sexual partners. Now, I think you should theme the party around legal sex. Why don't you have it themed around vampires?
Imagine, hold on, just to pause a minute. This is a conversation being had with someone that's on the verge of turning 16, isn't it? Because they're talking about 16th birthday, I believe. And this conversation is being had on BBC Radio 2, the Russell Brand Show, 2007. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. This is a PDF, man. This is PDF mentality, bro. Anywhere you go, this is PDF attitude, bro. You can't be talking like this. Like, imagine if the man them heard you talking like this. There is no excusing what we're hearing right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is straight up PDF attitude, PDF mentality.
Because I suppose what you really want to do is heighten the mood of, like, you're 16, you're still essentially a child, but you're coming of age. I think you want to heighten the mood of danger. So dress as say it's a vampire themed party. Why not? February.
A masked ball.
Masked ball, like
That's
in hold on, a Venetian masked ball. That's a good idea, Matt. In its way, erotic, but in a suppressed, suitable way for a 16-year-old girl.
But here's obviously the thing. As Bren mentioned, the age of consent in the UK is 16. I mean, you're still technically a minor until you're 18, but the age of consent is 16. However, it doesn't just end there, because there's a little bit of a nuance, because if the older partner in the relationship is, quote, a person of trust, such as a teacher, social worker, sports coach, doctor, etc., then the age of consent becomes 18. So you're not kind of getting that legal technicality in there. So the big question that will probably be debated at the trial is, was Russell Brand technically in a position of trust? I mean, either way, as Brand would probably admit himself, at 30...
I mean, he's a DJ. He's a DJ. Why would he be in a position of trust? As a DJ, he's not teaching anyone anything, is he? He's a flipping host, a presenter. So if anything, he's abiding by the law. But the fact that you've got the third party involvement here, the BBC sending cars, scheduling cars to go and pick someone up from school, to take them to one of your presenters' homes. If that's not a red flag within itself, then tell me what is. Then you've also got the management that know exactly what's happening. They're actually assisting and supporting and accommodating Russell's relationship. They're giving him ideas, suggestions on what he should do in order to not get caught, in order to not tarnish the career he has, or the amount of money that they're making. It's disgusting. And then you got to think that's just one lady. How many more potential victims are out there that went through the same process? 16 years old, thought they was in a relationship, but more or less getting groomed by a man who didn't give a shit. He was just taking advantage because he knew he could. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the Jimmy Savile situation, isn't it? Jimmy Savile done what he done because he knew he could, and no one was going to stop him. People facilitated, people accommodated, people done everything they could to ensure that he got access. And that's exactly what he was doing. He was getting access and he was doing horrible things behind closed doors. This, what we're hearing right now, ladies and gentlemen, might not be to the scale of what Jimmy Savile was getting up to. But what we do know, this story at a surface level is extremely disturbing.
You should know that it's wrong, even if there is this legal technicality. And of course, if these allegations that this woman made are true, that means that he and his team did know that it was wrong at the time, because why else would they coach her to lie to her parents and save the name under a different phone number? Say that she should pretend to be someone else, you know? It's just crazy.
I need to know exactly what you guys are thinking. Leave all your thoughts and comments down below. We're going to be back with more videos, so don't go anywhere. I just need you to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're newly watching. Most importantly, leave those thoughts and all those comments down below. Turn those notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.